Okay, well, good afternoon, Jet fans. It is Friday, January 31st, 2020. This seems like the longest month of the year. It's just dragged on, but it's the last day of January in 2020, 1:28 p.m. And yes, we are on the Friday prior to Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl 54 in Miami, Kansas City Chiefs, 49ers of San Francisco. And let's just get to it right away. This is not going to be a long video by far since it's a prediction on just one game. Um, as an AFC fan, Jet fan, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I like the Chief organization. I like Patrick Mahomes. I liked Andy Reid. I thought he was underappreciated in in Philadelphia. And I think they have enough offensive power to get past the strong San Francisco defense. I think it'll be a very close game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I don't think that Jimmy Garoppolo, whatever you want to call him, can keep up with the offense of the Chiefs. I will say Chiefs win. Patrick Mahomes will be the MVP. I think he'll get close to 300 yards passing. He'll have a couple of touchdown passes or a couple of touchdown scores, running them in or whatnot. I think Bosa gets close, but he doesn't do nearly enough to disrupt the flow of the Kansas City offense. And I'm going to say, in my opinion, the Kansas City Chiefs win 46 to 32, 46 to 35. Um, and you know what? Go back to 32 because I think there's going to be a few field goals sprinkled in there for San Francisco. Um, and like I said, I think it's a tight game up until a little late, and then Kansas City pulls away. Um, and the MVP will be Patrick Mahomes. And then we can move forward with the offseason and the start of the 2020 2021 NFL calendar. Free agency signings, restricted free agents, you know, franchise tags, what have you. Before you know it, it'll be the draft and minicamp time, and the schedule will be released. Um, and I'm looking forward to that only because I'm looking to see what the Jets can do um, going forward now. Now, we had a little bit of Jet news this week. The first one was a report that Le'Veon Bell and the Jets are still looking for a team to go to. Only one person has really reported that, but this is the same person who reported that Mike McCagnon would be let go, and that person was correct. I don't have the name in front of me. I'm not going to take credit for it, but she was correct. I believe it was a her um, when they reported that. So you can take that with a grain of salt. You know that there's a strained relationship. Um, Gase did not really want Le'Veon Bell here. Uh, Bell was not utilized the way he should be utilized, even though the offensive line was not built around him. So, Le'Veon Bell not being here, it won't be a big surprise. Maybe a disappointment, though, because I think you have to build this offensive line. I think you get a guard and a center, and you build like that. You get the running game going, and the running game opens up your passing game, and that'll make Sam Donald's life a whole lot easier. Just go back to Sanchez in '09 and 2010, his rookie and sophomore year. You have Thomas Jones as your running back and Sean Green the first year, and you have LaDainian Tomlinson and Sean Green the second year, and you're plays away from the Super Bowl. And I think that'll be beneficial to Donald. And I think Donald is a better quarterback than Sanchez. I think he's better build of a quarterback, a better athletic ability as a quarterback, better knowledge as a quarterback. I will not take anything away from Sanchez. He played 6 road playoff games in 2 years. He won 4 of them. And again, I'll go back to he beat um, Carson Palmer, Philip Rivers, lost to Peyton Manning. He beat Peyton Manning. Tom Brady lost to Ben Roethlisberger. So it was not just BS games that he lost. He lost to some big name quarterbacks, and he beat some big name quarterbacks. The other news was it looked like Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, Jamal Adams met with the Jets. Either his representation or Jamal spoke with the Jets. Um, Now, the reports were the Jets were working towards a contract. The Jets, they were moving forward. Jamal did make it clear. There's Jamal. That it was preliminary talks, but his goal is to be a Jet. He wants to be here for the long haul. I think him saying that speaks volumes. It spoke a lot of volumes in contrast to where he was during the trade deadline, and he wanted to be a Cowboy, and he didn't want to be here if they didn't want him to be here. So I think this is a good step. Um, the other report was that Robbie Anderson's group camp had some conversations with the Jets as well about being here for the long haul. Uh, Listen, I think Jamal makes a bigger impact than Robbie. I think you could, and nothing against Robbie. Robbie is a quick receiver. I wanted him to become more of a possession receiver, not the guy that just runs the route right up the sideline, but a guy who could, come across the middle, run, a hook or run or slant, run something other than just running down the field. Yes, that play does work. Victor Cruz proved that for the Giants, but in the end, you want an all-around receiver. Um, and an older Jet fan, or not too old, I go back to Keyshawn Johnson, Wayne Corbett, where Keyshawn went over the middle and got beat up and went deep and was a possession receiver. Corbett was your Mr. Third Down. He ran those 9 yards when you needed seven and made the catch. He caught them in double coverage. They were built differently. Keyshawn was a tall, muscular receiver. Corbett with muscles was a lot shorter. Um, and you could go back to more recently where it was Braylon Edwards and Santonio Holmes and Jericho Cotchery, where each receiver ran different routes and could give you the first down or could give you the deep threat. So I think Robbie could evolve into that. If it's going to cost us too much money, I think you bring in somebody who's already evolved, and then go to somebody in the draft as well. You want this money, this cap money, to be used appropriately. You want to build around your offensive line. You want to build around your defensive line. You want to build up that secondary around Jamal. I think you have your anchor with your quarterback, and I think Jamal at safety can be a great leader. I do miss um, Demario Davis, and he was an underrated Jet um, on his two stints here. We met him a few times. He was a passionate player, and I think he would have been great as a captain of this team right now. But though that's the news on the offseason right now. Um, where does Tom Brady go? Does he go anyplace? Where does Philip Rivers go? Um, right now, my concern, let's get through the weekend. Let's eat that Super Bowl food. Let's pick those numbers for the boxes. Maybe you're in on FanDuel, and get a good game. Because last year's game, as close as it was a boring game, very little scoring, and the Patriots end up winning. I think this year you're going to have a lot of scoring, and I think it's going to start off. So I think your first quarter may be a 6-3 or a 7-0 quarter, and then I think it's just going to take off. Uh, in the off season, I will try to do at least 1 to 2 videos a week. I'd love to hear from you. We're really trying to build this site up. It's a story for the fans, from the fans. Your first game you ever went to, the first time you ever at a stadium and watched, the first practice you ever went to, first Jet you ever met. Um, just what is it all about? What made you a fan? I met somebody yesterday, and he said, I'm a Jet fan. The rest of my family are Giant fans. They have 3 championships. I have none that I saw in my lifetime. Do you look at it that way? I have friends who are Dallas fans. They live in New York. They're Dallas fans. They're Eagle fans. They're Saints fans. Why are you a Jet fan? Why do we follow this team from Lou Holtz, Walt Michaels, Joe Walton, Bruce Coslett, uh, Pete Carroll, Rich Kotite, Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick again, Al Groh, um, Herm Edwards. I'm trying to just name them all in order. Mangini, um, Rex Ryan. Who was the last one? Todd Bowles. and now Adam Gase. And Manish Mehta reported today in the Daily News that Adam Gase didn't have a good repertoire with one of the running backs. I think he's the running back for the 49ers right now, or he's playing in the Super Bowl. I forgot who he was. And how Gase told him that he was a priority and he wanted to sign him, and then he wound up getting hurt, and he never heard from Gase again. It's just a witch hunt right now. Listen, is Adam Gase my first choice? No. Is Adam Gase who I think is going to bring this team to where the teams are playing this weekend? I hope so, but I don't think so. So this is another year where, you know, is it a wasted year of not having a coach, or is this a year where he takes the next step? I can't bash. I cannot. I can't go every day bashing. It's like go to a job you don't like. You're gonna be miserable. I follow the team. I support Adam Gase. I support Joe Douglas. I support Sam Donald. I support the kicker. I support the water boy. I support Chris Johnson. Whoever makes the decisions, maybe I don't agree with them, but I support the team. All I want is to be on the Friday before the Super Bowl predicting a Jet Super Bowl and the score. And then I want to have that weekend and that Sunday to enjoy the game, even though I'll probably be a pins and needles whole game just to enjoy it. That's what I want. So right now, my chips are all in on Adam Gase. You have my full support, and you have my family support, and we will be there cheering on this team from draft night to mini camp to training camp, preseason, regular season, whatever it is. We're here. Shoot us an email on the website, www.nyjetstories.com. That's www.nyjetstories.com. Facebook message, NY Jet Stories is our Facebook page. You can follow us. You can follow us on Twitter, at NY Jet Stories is our Twitter handle. And of course, on this channel, Alex Pozziali, NY Jet Stories. Check us out. You know, we'd love to meet up at games. I have a lot of friends that I met at games that I'm Twitter handle friends with now. We see each other, we text. Um, and it's just a way of life. And I hope that one day, very, very soon, I can be getting ready for my Super Bowl party for the Jets. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game. Good luck to everybody who's in pools. Good luck to everybody who supports the teams that are in it. I have a friend who's a Chiefs fan. He said, I waited 50 years for this. A little bit of, you know, did you know the Chiefs, 50 years are the second longest drought of a team who was in the Super Bowl. First longest, New York Jets, 52 years. You know, there are teams that haven't made the Super Bowl, but it was just a team that has been appeared in the Super Bowl. I'm not sure if it's won or not, but yes, New York Jets. Have a great weekend. Good luck on all your pools. I'm going to say let's go good game, but you know, let's even go with go Chiefs. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll talk to you next week. We'll recap the Super Bowl and look and see if there's any progress made with any of the players.